Is there something else I can do for you? Ah, I imagine you don't leave very often, do you? And thus a good view of the other side of the lake? It must feel rather isolated way out here. I am not a good source of news, I fear. I am preoccupied with the Darkspawn incursion. When the king sent out the call, the Circle of Ferelden sent only 7 mages to Ostagar. I asked King Caelan's permission to come and seek a greater commitment from the Circle. I hope to place a mage or 2 within every contingent. I cannot do with just 7. Mages will make all the difference in this battle. The Darkspawn have their own magic, and our resources must exceed theirs. I don't know. Do you? Then perhaps I shall speak to Irving about this later. Darkspawn are a greater threat than blood mages, even abominations. It takes decades for the world to recover from a blight. I wish the Chantry could see that. We must stop at nothing to defeat the Darkspawn. Ah, listen to me. An old man's rantings can't be very interesting. You are too kind. Certainly. I am intimately familiar with these subjects, after all. A horde has formed within the Korcari wilds in the south. If they are not stopped, they will strike north into the valley. We Grey Wardens believe that an archdemon is leading the horde. Darkspawn do attack the surface in ragtag bands, but archdemons are capable of rallying the Darkspawn, turning them into an unstoppable force. A horde of Darkspawn, a veritable army. It is dire news indeed. I fear this is what we will have to face. We can't seem to eradicate them completely. Somehow they always come back. It is not my place to comment. Gregar serves the Chantry, and the relationship between the Chantry and mages has always been strained. You've realized by now that the Chantry merely tolerates magic? They watch only because they feel they must. Any mages who join the King's army can unleash their full power on the Darkspawn. In fact, I'm counting on it. Gregar may be afraid of what will happen. What if the mages decide they no longer want to be governed by the Chantry? I believe we must defeat the Darkspawn, one way or another. My opinions end there. Of course. Don't let me keep you. Is there something else I can do for you? Once, in my youth, just after I joined the Grey Wardens, I was traveling with my mentor. We encountered a group of Templars hunting a blood mage. They were quite far away, so I cannot be sure of what I saw. He forced some of the Templars to turn on their fellows. It was dreadful to behold. He would have escaped had he not overlooked one Templar who snuck up behind him and cleaved his head in 2. There have been mages within the Grey Wardens who have needed to resort to blood magic to deal with the Darkspawn. It is something to consider, certainly. The mages whose connection to the Fade has been severed? Why do you ask? It keeps them and those around them safe. Perhaps the sacrifice is worthwhile. I cannot say. Certainly. I am intimately familiar with these subjects, after all. Our duty is to battle Darkspawn wherever they appear. We are elves, humans, and dwarves united by this common purpose. Of course. Don't let me keep you.
I'm glad I caught up to you. Are you done talking with Irving? I need to talk to you. Do you remember what we discussed this morning? Shh! I just want to make sure we're not overheard. We should go somewhere else. I don't feel safe talking here. I've been troubled. I'll explain. Come with me, please. We should be safe here. A few months ago, I told you that I met a girl. This is Lily.
So you can see why we wish to keep it a secret.
Lily's been given to the Chantry. She's not allowed to have relations with men. If anyone finds out, we'll both be in trouble. I wish that was the only thing I needed to talk about. Remember I said that I didn't think they wanted to give me my harrowing? I know why. They're going to make me tranquil. They'll take everything that I am from me. My dreams, hopes, fears, my love for Lily. All gone. I need to escape. I need to destroy my phylactery. Without it, they can't track me down. We need your help. Lily and I can't do this on our own.
Give us your word that you will help, and we will tell you what we intend. Thank you. We will never forget this. I can get us into the repository, but there is a problem. There are 2 locks on the phylactery chamber door. The first Enchanter and Knight Commander each hold 1 key. But it is just a door. There is power enough in this place to destroy all of Ferelden. What's a door to mages?
We have no choice. We cannot get our hands on both keys. I once saw a rod of fire melt through a lock. You could get one from the stockroom, but Owain doesn't release such things to apprentices.
We should stay here. 1 mage at the stockroom will attract less attention than a mage, an apprentice, and an initiate. Good luck. Our prayers go with you.
I hate waiting. It makes me nervous. Really? What? A rumor is spreading that I've dabbled in blood magic. That's why they won't let me take the harrowing. Of course not! I never used blood magic. I've been sneaking around to meet Lily in secret. Maybe others have seen me and assumed I must be doing something forbidden. I suppose we are, but they think it's blood magic, and it isn't. I've thought about it, but it will only make things worse. Lily will be punished. I can't do that to her. Maybe if it were just Irving, he'd spare me. But he has to keep the peace between the Circle and the Chantry. If he stirs up too much trouble, they might replace him. They could wipe out the entire Circle if they wanted. The Chantry abhors blood magic. That's why they're willing to pay attention to this stupid rumor. She was saying the chant of light in the chapel one night while I was walking past. I've heard that chant many times, but I never realized how beautiful the words were until then. I'll never forget that night. No, and I don't care. Why? I don't really want to think about them. I came here a year or so before you did. I must have been 5 or 6 years old. Mother stopped talking to me after I showed signs of magical ability. She wouldn't even look at me. She'd mutter under her breath that I was a demon child and an abomination in the Maker's sight. Mother could be cruel, especially if you got on her bad side, which was easy to do. She'd fight with my father, saying that she didn't want that thing, meaning me, in her house. Guess that's what drove him to leave me at the village chantry. I suppose it's just as well. It's the past. Lily wouldn't jest about something like this.
I saw it plain as day. There was no mistake. And Gregor believes he does the Maker's work, keeping the mages in check.
Are you ready to go?
It shall be done. Blessed art thou who exists in the sight of the Maker. Oh, hello. I'm reciting the Maker's blessings. Would you like to join me? Wonderful. I'll start over. Blessed art thou who exists in the sight of the Maker. Blessed are the penitents who seek his return. May the chant reach the Maker's ears and tell him of our contrition. So let it be. Thank you for praying with me. I recite the Maker's blessings every day. It brings me peace in troubled times. No, not really. It's just... I don't want to bore you with this. It gives me hope that one day the Maker will hear us, that maybe I'll be forgiven and my curse will be lifted. Magic? What else? Magic causes such misery. It's dangerous and vile and wicked. The Chantry must protect the world from us. Being born with something so terrible must be a punishment. I wish I could be rid of it. That takes the magic from me? It does, doesn't it? Imagine. No fear of becoming an abomination. Not being reviled by common folk in Chantry. I should go. My mentor only allows a few minutes each day for religious contemplation. I shall do it.
I trust you saw Duncan back to his quarters? I'm glad you met him. He's a most honorable man. Grey Wardens are peerless warriors who sacrifice all for our sakes. We can learn much from them. Now, did you need something? I've removed them from the library. I was advised it might be unwise to leave them where any apprentice may read them. They will be put away somewhere very safe. Now, is there anything else? I appreciate the favor. You have returned. Does something require my attention? And how does he know this? I suppose the young initiate he dallies about with revealed it to him. You think I didn't know? I did not become first enchanter by keeping my eyes and ears shut. Oh, interesting. What more do you know? Yes, she must be helping him. She would know more about the repository than he would. Do you know anything else? I suspected Lily would tell him of the impending rite if she found out, but I never expected they would have the gall to break into the repository. Reporting him to Gregor and the Templars will accomplish nothing beyond what's already planned. If the Circle must punish one of its own, I will see the Chantry don the same courtesy. Lily will not walk free while my apprentice suffers. If we mention her involvement, the Chantry will say that she was framed. No, she must be caught in the act. If you want to survive, you must learn the rules and realize that sometimes sacrifices are necessary. Jowen will become tranquil, but Lily must also face the consequences of her actions. How did you learn of their plan? Do they trust you? Perfect. Will you return to them and carry out their scheme? With solid proof of their crime, we can act. Go. Convince them you will risk all for their cause. I will be outside the repository with a contingent of Templars. Let them see the mischief into which their initiate led our student. Perform well, and your dedication will be rewarded.
Welcome to the Circle's stockroom of magical items. My name is Owain. How may I assist you? I voluntarily submitted to the rite of tranquility. I was unwilling to undergo the harrowing. I find this state agreeable. I see the world with clarity. I remember the days when my mind was filled with inconvenient and seething emotions. Now things are simple. It is difficult to describe. I would perhaps compare it to being plunged into a pool of ice-cold water. I was ordered to never speak of it. I cannot go against the Circle's wishes. My body is similar in form to yours, possessing an equal number of limbs, appendages, and internal organs. I perform the same physical functions. My mind is capable of higher thought processes. Am I to be denied personhood because I do not feel as you do? People feel things to different degrees. One individual may be more empathetic than the next. Some are quick to anger, while others are not. Yet you would not single one out and accuse him of not being a person. My capacity to feel differs from yours, but you also differ from all other beings. You are no more a person than others, and I am no less a person than you are. I do not have the capacity to be offended. Still, I believe I am a person. Rods of fire serve many purposes. Why do you wish to acquire this particular item? Here is the form, Request for Rod of Fire. Have it signed and dated by a senior enchanter. I will release a rod to you once I have the signed form. Thank you.
Oh, hello. I don't believe we've met. Are you new to the Circle? I'm sorry. There are so many of you, and I get confused. Not to mention, these old eyes are starting to go. You're too kind. I'm old and about to fall apart. Nothing in the world can fix that. Anyway, did you need something? I suppose I am. I've been here longer than just about anyone else. What's this? A request form from the stockroom? Rod of Fire? I remember when the junior mages I mentored asked for some of those. Turns out they were burning holes in each other's trousers. One boy burned peepholes into the female apprentice's dormitory. You're not involved in any such rubbish, are you? No, of course you're not. Look at you. So angelic. Well, I won't ask why you'd need it. Tower's too boring lately. Tell you what, I'll put my name on this form, like so. And if you get the chance, burn a big hole in the seat of the trousers of the Templar that patrols the library. Do that for old sweetie, won't you? Bastard's always giving me the stink eye. You'll be on your way now.
It is begun.
Do you need something? If not, step back. You're in my light. I'm trying to study. Have some consideration for a fellow mage. Good day.
That's not likely. The Chantry would do something before it came to that.
Will they? They haven't done anything, and I've heard that the Equitarians are starting to soften a little on the Libertarian position.
Not the same as support. Don't you? Just think of what the Chantry would do if sudden rebels were petitioning for more independence, or even a...
Won't be pretty.
Ah, those short-sighted libertarians. They'll get their way and take us all down with them.
Hello again, my young friend. I hardly expected to meet you here. Likewise. I am enjoying the splendors of the library. The Circle of Magi is fortunate to have so many wonderful books at its disposal. You would know that better than I. You seem preoccupied. Might I ask what you're doing? If you might indulge me, I would like to ask you about the Circle. Mages like yourself must have opinions on current affairs such as the war. As you know, the king is gathering an army. You don't fear using the power at your disposal, do you? It is dangerous, yes, but necessary. Irving has taught you well, I see. Well, I'm sure you've better things to do than chat with an old man. Good day. We shall meet again.
I think someone's here to speak to you, Senior Torren.
Hello. Congratulations on your harrowing last night. Good work. Ah, the Fraternities of the Enchanters. You probably haven't heard of them. It's best not to get tangled up in circle politics. More trouble than it's worth, really. They're found in all circles throughout Thedas. Groups of enchanters who hold similar viewpoints, who band together to make their voices heard. The most influential fraternity are the Equitarians. They are moderates and believe in a code of conduct that all mages should adhere to. Then there are the Chantry apologists, the Loyalists. The Chantry says something and they follow it to the letter. The Lucrosians just want to make money, and the Isolationists would like us all to be hermits and live on an island. Then, of course, there are the Libertarians. They want more power for the Circle, more autonomy. Well, if I had to, I'd say I was an Equitarian, but I ducked out of the fray a long time ago. Most of the senior enchanters are Equitarians. Irving, Wynne, Sweeney. Ulrid's a Libertarian, and a loud one at that. Mages have enough opposition from the outside without tearing our circles apart with infighting. But what can you do? Fair enough. Good day to you.
Hello, were you looking for something? I'm Njal, a mage just like you. I've seen you around, haven't I? I must have. Oh, the fraternities. Groups of mages with a common agenda. I think we should all be isolationists. Stay in some remote mountain town far away from the mundanes who hate us. I'd go hide alone in the wilds if I could. But you know they just brand me an apostate and hunt me down. There is no leaving the Circle. It's till death do us part. Romantic, isn't it? If you leave the Circle, you become an apostate. And the punishment for leaving is death. Pretty grim, huh? I've heard of hedge witches who've managed to survive on their own, eluding the Circle for a lifetime. But if the Templars discover them, well, you know what happens. Then there are stories about the Dalish elf clans having great magic. But who knows what's truth and what's fiction when it comes to the Dalish? All right, have a good day.
Very well.
Ah, there you are. You are to be moved out of the apprentices' dormitory, and these are to be your new quarters. The Tranquil will move your belongings this afternoon. Go on, make yourself comfortable.
This is infuriating. Another batch destroyed. Say, have you seen Owain? Is he in the stockroom? Oh, excellent. He wasn't there last I looked. I hope he still has some cinnabar lying around. When I asked last week, he said he was running out.
I'd avoid Leora if I were you. She's been rather testy lately. Who knows? I'm not going to ask her why she's irritable. Women hate those kind of questions.
Don't you have something better to do?
I hear Irving's very proud of you. Yes? Senior Enchanter, Leora, in charge of the Circle's laboratory. Is there something you want? That leads to the Circle's cavern storerooms. There are caves running through the rock that the Circle is built upon. But of course, you know this. No, I can't let anyone in there just now. There are just things in there that I would prefer to keep safe. Yes, but I am in the midst of stock-taking, checking inventory, and I can't let anyone in there in case they mess things up. Yes. Because I am taking a break. I hate the musty smell of caves, and Look, I'll tell you the truth. Just keep it to yourself. There is an infestation of spiders in the caves. I don't know how they got in there, but it's probably my fault. I was promoted to Senior Enchanter less than a fortnight ago, and I don't want anyone to find out. They'll think I'm incompetent. I could use some, I'm sure. I've been too busy with my new duties. I haven't been able to deal with the spiders. If you cleared them out for me, I would owe you a favor. A big one. Wonderful. Here is the key. Oh, and be careful in there. I'd really like to keep the damage done to the Circle's property to a minimum.
I shall do it.
It is begun. Be careful now. It is begun. Be careful now. I shall do it. Watch out! It shall be. What manner of beast is this? As you say. We must fight! Let us do it quickly! It's finding himself.
You're back! Are the spiders gone? Really? Oh, that's wonderful. You've saved my hide, I'm sure. And I owe you a favor, so if you need anything, I'll be here. I do. I put aside these potions some time ago, but never found a use for them. Here, I hope they'll be helpful to you.
Did you see that Grey Warden? I hear he's trying to recruit a mage for his order.
I should have been sent to help the King's army. I dislike being stuck here while something big is happening.
Good day.
Did you hear the rumor about someone being a blood mage?
Jowen's been acting weird all day. Have you seen him?
I'm terrible at spells. You're lucky you're so talented. I heard that Cullen's in love with you.
Welcome to the Circle's stockroom of magical items. My name is Owain. How may I assist you? Everything looks to be in order. Here is the rod you requested.
Good day to you.
Today I shall be making more potions to send to the mages at Ostagar.
I hate waiting. It makes me nervous. That was quick!
To the repository, then. Freedom awaits.